What's your name again?
Chris.
Yes, that's right.
So I'm working on a walking robot, and this little guy has a total of 8 motors, and yeah. Right now it should be talking to the controller. So I ran this in Robo Games, and then I ran this at Maker Faire, and so basically there's just a servo controller on it, like a Pololu servo controller. And then, so I can either kind of write scripts with the Pololu, which is really awkward because it's in like that 4th language, so it's kind of backwards, you know what I'm talking about? It's like an RTM. So you can kind of do scripting with this Pololu. Right now it's just listening to the controller, going to the microcontroller, which is like a Cowatech, kind of an Arduino knockoff. And then it's just sending serial commands to the Pololu right now. So, yeah, do something. So this is walking. It's just always statically balanced. Nice. We have one other move, I think. We should have arms up, but it doesn't work.
You do the walking again after arms up?
This is a karate kick.
Did you make that chassis, Chris?
Yeah.
The chassis homebrew.
Very nice.
Everything's homemade. I made this in my laundry room when I was in college. I had a little Shoreline. I got a little Shoreline CNC. I put it in the laundry room because it's warm in there, and it worked out really good. So everything's homemade. It's either chopped up on my bandsaw or made on the little Shoreline. I guess my goal for this guy is I really want to work more on the functionality, obviously get it walking sideways. I have no idea how to make it turn. I have no idea how to make it go in a straight line. Yeah, and I got some new servos. When I built this, the servos were just regular servos, so to get the back shaft or the joint on the back, I kind of clobbered on a little plate on the back of the servo, and then I put a standoff there to get this joint. So now you can buy robot servos that have the servo on the front and like a little back shaft on the back, I call it. So that's a lot easier. So I'd kind of like to go through this whole thing and make it with different servos, and it just wouldn't be it'd be a little more compact, I guess. Let's see, what else? And then I kind of want to concentrate on the looks of it and make it look like a Gundam. Yeah. So I'm kind of looking at that too.
Looks like a very small transformer.
Yeah, it started off as Optimus Prime, and then it kind of became a Gundam somewhere.
It's really cool. I mean,
yeah,
you cut that all yourself.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. The important question is, what's its name?
Oh, Chibi, or Chibi, which means small in the manga. So you can have Optimus Prime, and he's like 38 feet tall, but then if you have Chibi Optimus, like the head is like really big, and they're like really small, so it's like a baby.
Optimus.
Yeah, it's super deformed. Hey.
Didn't he win some medals?
Oh yeah, he won some medals. I think I did. So I went to Maker Faire with no intention of doing anything with robots, but then I met these awesome, wonderful people that were doing RoboJam. So Eva and Chris over there encouraged me to bring the robot. So yeah, we ended up fighting it out and got a silver medal. Which, that's it. Any other questions?
Good job.
Right,
very cool robot.
Okay, so this might just barely qualify as a homebrew. I think probably half the people will recognize what this is. Yeah, so I have not built a robot in about 6 years, so I was looking for a way to get back into it. And last meeting we had this great presentation from NVIDIA on their Jetson Nano. So I thought that's a great thing. That looks like a lot of potential there for learning about some of the machine learning and some of the other things you can do with this platform. So I got out my credit card and I bought all the parts that they told me to buy, and I put them all together. I got a little bit stuck when I got to the 3D printing of the body because my 3D printer is really, really old and not quite precise enough for this. So I was walking around Maker Faire and I got into the NVIDIA booth and they said, oh, here, we printed a bunch of extra ones, here. So I actually didn't even print the body. I got it from NVIDIA, which was kind of nice because, yeah, I was trying to get the credit card out and get another 3D printer, but then, you know, this was a lot better solution. So next meeting, this thing will be in operation. I just got it together just now, so I haven't really mastered the software on it yet, but this is going to be a great platform for learning a lot of cool stuff. And then hopefully it'll evolve and gain some capabilities and be more homebrew and less just kind of building the NVIDIA thing. So any questions about this?
Nice.
The new
What's
toy.
how long is what kind of battery are you using for the Jetson Nano?
Yeah, it's the one they recommended on their kit, and it's
Cell phone recharging.
cell phone recharger,
Oh, okay, so this
USB
is like
outputs.
charge your iPhone 50 times kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. 10,000
Okay.
Yeah.
Million amp hour.
million pounds.
Does it have a camera on it?
It has a camera, right, so I should explain a little bit more because I think probably half the people here were here last meeting where the Jetson Nano team talked about this thing extensively. It does have a camera. It's a wide-angle Raspberry Pi type camera. It comes with some software that already has done machine learning. The Jetson Nano processor has 128 cores and a big heat sink. You can see it on the top. And it's set up to run TensorFlow right in place, set up to run multiple neural nets. They've got a wealth of software that comes with it. So there's a lot of sample code that you can look at to get familiar with how it does machine learning. The base platform is very similar to Raspberry Pi, although a little bit more powerful, but the camera, good idea. Were you trying to follow me around when I'm playing? Yeah, so you can come take a look at it. It was really impressive when NVIDIA was here last meeting and talked about this device, and there's a lot of information on their website. So
I want to point out that talk from last month that he's referring to is up on our videos now, so you can see our video links on the upper left side of our webpage, and you can see the talk he's discussing.
yeah, it's really inspiring.
Mark Johnston,
Inspiring.
ladies and gentlemen.
Videos on YouTube, thanks to Bill for religiously taking videos every meeting.
Oh, wow.
Really appreciate that.
And I'm
Does it have
just,
a name? Does it have a name?
it does.
That's
It's
a
called
jet-
Elroy,
That's the jet box.
which was the Jetson's son. Just out of curiosity, how many other people are working on one of these JetBots? I know there was at least one other. 1, 2, 3. I think another one in the back. Yeah, cool. So we'll have to see what we can do. When they all get their machine intelligence, we'll have to see what they do together. All right, thank you.
So there was one very important announcement that I forgot to make at the beginning of the meeting, and that is that Dan is our new Secretary Treasurer. So thanks to Dan for volunteering. Chris, our old Secretary Treasurer.
Previous, not.
Yes.
Okay. Previous. Do you want to say anything about what you're up to? Just, I mean, Chris is going on a voyage. Let's just put it that way.
3 hour tour.
And we wish him a lot of luck.
10 years.
I will just say very briefly that I was planning on not being at this meeting because I'm actually heading out into the Pacific on a sailboat, but it had engine trouble, so there was a delay. So I got to participate in RoboJam, and I actually won 4 medals, not just 3. However, they weren't any gold ones.
But they were still made of wood.
They were all, yeah.
Okay, so some people may recognize these as the RoboNova, which they are. And back in 2006, Dave Calkins contacted me and said, what can we do to make them, the control, which was IR, remote control, less primitive? So at the time, the best option was Zigbee. So we, before 3D printers, we Alumilite molded little headgears painted different colors. I don't know if you guys can see the different colors in the heads. That's orange and this is blue. And they have a Zigbee transmit receiver in there. And then I hacked a PlayStation 2 controller before they had wireless ones. Cut the wire off, which was just a SPI with a couple extra lines, and used a microchip and tied that into another Zigbee, and we ran soccer back in 2006. And that was really cool. And then over the years, better robots came out, and these kind of just got beat up and kept breaking one after another, which they sort of ended up in non-functional state. But Chris and I, with a box of scraps and a cave, basically put these back together, and we added a new control program with these really cool Windows 10, sorry guys, Linux, yeah, little handheld devices that were $80 each, and Visual C++ in an hour and a half created this really cool program, and we're going to demo the program. Can you zoom in on the program? I guess not. I don't know.
I can try.
Yeah.
Oh, there, it's
Yeah.
working.
There you go. So I don't know. That way. Okay.
Let's plug in the port first.
Yeah. Okay. Hold it.
Open comm.
Okay. So I'm going to plug in the serial port. What's a USB port? And then, of course, I rotated the screen. Then I'm going to ask it to search for port,
Down, just
COM4.
lower, down.
Down, thank you. And then down. It's hard when you, there you go. And I'll open COM4. And then we can go to one of the functions. That's the Kung Fu functions. And we'll turn it on and hope for the best. And hopefully I won't have to say it worked last night.
It worked last week at Robotics.
Except the battery's dead. Oh no.
Let me go get another one.
Yeah, and I need some. Oh wait, the battery's not dead. It's not plugged in. Hold on.
Did you expect that to work?
Yeah, of course I can't see. Can you see that? Plug that connector. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. All right. Okay, so now I'm just going to run through some moves. This is a right tumble. Nice. And of course, hey, we're not done yet.
You got this working out of parts in a cave?
Yeah.
I couldn't get mine working. I'm not Tony Stark.
And of course, every robot has to be able to stand up. And I said every robot has to stand up. Oh, it's rebooting because the batteries. We really need to plug in one of the other batteries. Does anybody have something to cut a time strap?
Yeah, I do.
Where's the battery? Who can do that? Do you want a battery? Yeah. It'll take about 10 seconds to replace the battery. Yeah. Just snip that. Yeah, that's why I didn't replace it, because I couldn't snip it.
Surgical about this here. Try not to blow anything up.
Yeah, the worst thing can happen.
It's the red one next to the blue one, right?
Yes. So cut the red one. Don't cut the red one. Right after you cut the black one.
Not that button, Doc. Oh, okay, so we're clear on that, right?
Even if you cut the battery line.
There we go. No, the blue one next to the...
Oh, and a little thing about the batteries. All the battery packs were dead, and we got the company Tenergy, who is local in this area, to build us out battery packs. And they were very good about it. And I mean, I only had to buy 15 packs to make minimum.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, and there we go. And now let's try to stand it forward.
Oh.
You remember the same
slacker.
Is that the drunken?
All right, don't be a wild. Well, let's try it from back. Wait, no, come on. We're not giving up. Oh, this pack is bad too. Chris gave me a bad pack. Chris.
Always blame the battery.
It is always the battery's fault. That's right. That's right.
Low energy data.
They're old. They're old.
No, we didn't charge them up. We should have charged these packs.
Yep.
up.
You've heard the joke about golden screw.
There's always a few bits and bobs left over.
How often do those servos strip gears?
These, I very rarely have a problem with these servants. These are, and considering their age and everything, they're pretty good. All right, let's try this again. Ta-da! It's a lot easier when you have that. Yeah, and let's see, he can, punch.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and we could go to the freestyle. He could do the can-can. He could do a handstand. I can't do a handstand. And this is a big favorite, the wing move. That's like a pretty cool thing. And so we were doing soccer, and we had a big soccer field, and this is the soccer kick. Strip gear, so anyone who wanted to know. No. Actually, they're very resilient, and
Where's the ping pong ball?
Yeah, fall off the table, and still no problem. Has a kind of a white block. Soccer. So there's a whole bunch of moves in there, and we can get more demos later. But yeah, it was a fun project, and the new thing is the new application rather than the PlayStation 2. Which button was it? The left button, the right button, the right joystick, the left joystick. I can't remember all that stuff, and so this just kind of made it dummy proof. Oh, thanks,
Thanks,
Sean.